The garage door motor whirred, and the heavy door sealed shut, cutting off Atlas's bark. Inside, the temperature gauge read 38 degrees Celsius, dangerous for any living thing.
He's ruining the entire aesthetic. That vest looks like a costume, and I won't have it in Amelia's photos.
Mom, stop! Atlas detects my seizures 20 minutes before they happen. He's not a prop for your perfect picture.
You're too dependent on that animal. He'll be perfectly fine in the garage. It's just a little warm.
The automatic door reversed its course, grinding shut. Atlas's confused eyes disappeared inch by inch behind the metal wall. The lock clicked. Final.
It's 38 degrees in there. Without water, he'll overheat in minutes. You're killing him for a party photo.
You are being hysterical. Smile for the camera. Nobody wants to see your face like that at a pool party.
22 guests splashed in the pool, clinked glasses, and talked over each other. Not one person looked at the garage door. Margaret stood frozen, the party's noise a hollow backdrop. Her hand trembled, but not from a seizure. Inside the garage, Atlas scratched at the door and whimpered. The thermometer crept past 39 degrees. No one in that party cared. Margaret had to act. Margaret pressed her hand to the garage door. The metal burned. Inside, Atlas scratched frantic.
She brings that dog everywhere. It's like she can't function without a crutch.
3 months earlier, Atlas nudged Margaret's trembling hand in a grocery store. She sank to the floor before the seizure hit.
He's saved me over a dozen times, and my family treats him like a dirty secret. Mother says you're ruining my party. Stop being so dramatic. Dramatic? My service dog is locked in an oven. But sure, let's take a selfie.
Robert wandered over with a plate of burgers, not meeting her eyes. Let it go, Margaret. Your mother knows what she's doing.
They all see nothing. Not the heat, not the danger, not the law. I'm completely alone.
She pulled out her phone. The screen lit with a search for animal control. The party music thumped on, oblivious. 28 minutes had passed since the garage door slammed shut. The thermometer now read 40 degrees Celsius, rising fast. Atlas lay panting on the concrete, no water in sight.
Mom, it's been almost half an hour. He'll have heat stroke. Please, just open the door.
You're being hysterical. I didn't raise you to be this fragile. Go get a drink and smile.
Smile, sis. You'll ruin the group shot. This is going in my party album. Are you even listening to yourself? My dog is dying and you want a photo?
Amelia didn't wait. She snapped the picture, capturing Margaret's frozen anger and Donna's dismissive wave. Within minutes, the photo landed on Amelia's Facebook page, tagged with a laughing emoji and the caption, "Pool Party Vibes," 23 likes in 10 minutes. Margaret turned away from the laughter, walked past the pool chairs and dialed the number for animal control. Animal control. What is your emergency?
My service dog is locked in a garage without water. He detects my seizures. The temperature is over 40 degrees. I need an officer at 1427 Maplewood Drive immediately.
The dispatcher's response was immediate. An officer is en route. Do not attempt to enter the garage. Stay on the line. Donna spotted her across the lawn. She strode over, her heels clicking with purpose, fury hardening her jaw.
Who are you speaking to? Hang up now.
I'm speaking to animal control. You locked my service dog in a 40-degree garage. That's a Class A animal cruelty charge.
You've lost your mind. This is family business.
Amelia's phone camera light blinked on, capturing the scene without a word of support for her sister. The dispatcher's voice cut in again. Officer is dispatched. ETA 14 minutes. Do not interfere with the dog.
Interfere. That word was new. This wasn't just cruelty, it was a civil rights violation.
You'll regret this, Margaret. I'll make sure everyone knows what you've done to your family.
Margaret stood her ground in the driveway, phone pressed to her ear, watching the empty street. She didn't answer. She just waited. The animal control SUV rolled up in exactly 14 minutes. Lights dark, engine idling. A uniformed silhouette stepped out into the afternoon glare.
Officer, over here, the garage. He's been trapped for almost an hour.
Officer, this is a simple family misunderstanding. My daughter is being dramatic. There is no need for paperwork.
Ma'am, I'm required to check on the animal. Where exactly is the dog right now?
Locked in the garage. No water. That metal door. The inside is over 40 degrees.
She brought this on herself. That dog is a prop, not a service animal.
Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, interfering with a service animal is a federal civil violation. I'll need to see that dog now.
Federal. That word hung in the humid air, heavier than the heat.
Officer Catherine walked past Donna, ignoring her sputtered protests. Her boots echoed on the concrete as she approached the sealed metal door.
Open this door. Now.
The garage door ground upward, releasing a wave of stale heat. Officer Catherine stepped inside, flashlight cutting through the dim. Atlas lay flat on the concrete, tongue lolling, barely lifting his head. His water bowl was bone dry.
This water bowl is bone dry. In this heat, it's deliberate neglect, a textbook case of animal cruelty.
Here is his ADA certification. He is a trained seizure alert dog. She knew what she was doing when she locked him in.
Interference with a service animal is a federal civil violation. I'm documenting both violations now.
She photographed the thermometer at 40 degrees, then the empty water bowl. The timestamp would be irrefutable. Margaret poured bottled water over his neck. He drank weakly, but his tail gave a faint, grateful thump against the concrete. The officer turned the citation booklet, checking the Class A animal cruelty box with a sharp pen stroke.
He predicts seizures 20 minutes before they hit. She left him to beg for a pool party picture.
This photo is time-stamped. With your sworn statement, the federal case writes itself. You'll receive a summons.
That dog is just a pet. She uses him for attention. You can't issue a federal violation for a dog.
Ma'am, interfering with a trained service animal is a federal civil violation under the ADA. This citation documents both that and the state animal cruelty charge.
Why did you have to ruin my party, Margaret? Mother made one mistake and you called the police? A mistake is losing keys. She locked a living creature in an oven. Read the law, Amelia.
Just drop it, Margaret. You've made your point. Don't tear this family apart.
Officer Catherine tore off the pink copy and held it out. Donna refused to take it, so the officer laid it on the hood of her car. Amelia, ignoring the law, lifted her phone and snapped a final photo of the officer's departing vehicle. Groups of relatives began slipping away, towels draped over their shoulders, not meeting Margaret's eyes. Only one text arrived that night from a cousin. "You've destroyed the family name." Margaret deleted it without reply. Alone in the backyard, Margaret crouched beside Atlas. He was breathing easier now, but she knew the real battle was just starting. She soaked a clean towel in the pool and draped it over Atlas's heaving ribs. Slowly, his panting quieted.
She chose the garage on purpose, out of sight, no one to witness. A calculated cruelty wrapped in fake smiles.
She pulled out her phone and snapped a photo of Atlas, his soaked vest, the empty bowl, the timestamp reading 3:07 p.m., evidence of what had been done. Then she typed into the search bar, "Service dog ADA violation lawyer pro bono." The results loaded. A nonprofit disability rights advocacy group topped the list. She tapped the email link and sent a brief message. Inside the house, Donna slammed the citation onto the marble counter. Through the closed kitchen window, her voice carried like shattered glass.
That girl has always been unstable. A federal case? She'll bankrupt us for attention.
Amelia said nothing, scrolling through her phone. She'd already deleted the photo with the officer but kept every poolside selfie. Margaret stayed outside until dark. Atlas's head on her knee, her phone buzzed with an automated reply from the legal group, "Case under review." She didn't go inside. Not to that house. Not with those people. The battle had only started, but the law was now on her side. 3 mornings later, Margaret sat in a quiet conference room. Across from her, a disability rights attorney examined the citation and photos. The attorney's voice was steady. The case was clear, she told Margaret. The evidence of interference was overwhelming.
So you're saying the law sees what she did as more than just animal cruelty, a civil rights case?
The attorney explained the federal ADA violation carried a penalty of up to $5,000. Combined with the state fine, it could exceed $7,000.
I never wanted to destroy her. I just wanted her to see me, to care.
Then the attorney slid a single-page form across the table. Pro bono representation. No cost. The nonprofit had already agreed to back the case.
If I sign this, she'll never speak to me again. The whole family will cut me out.
She looked at the pen. Then she thought of Atlas, locked in the sweltering garage. Her hand moved before the doubt could catch up. The attorney filed the notice of claim electronically that same hour. The email subject line read, "Civil suit, interference with service animal, ADA violation." Margaret walked out into the noon light, Atlas's leash firm in her hand. The legal machinery was finally turning. There would be no turning back. A thick envelope arrived with a return address from the county courthouse. Inside, a formal summons and the federal complaint. Donna tore it open in the kitchen, her face draining of color as she read the charges.
You're suing your own mother? Over a dog? I was just trying to have a nice afternoon.
You locked a living animal in a furnace. That's not just cruelty, it's a federal case.
Please, we can work this out. Don't you want your mother to be okay?
The same voice that called me hysterical was now shaking with tears. She could turn off like a tap.
She ended the call without a promise and blocked the number for the rest of the day. Then a new notification buzzed. Amelia Hemmings posted in Willow Creek Neighbors. The post already had 30 comments. "Is that the dog they locked up? My cousin was there. The mother is awful." Margaret set the phone down. The court date was weeks away, but the court of public opinion had already seated its jury. In the attorney's office, a thick stack of printed screenshots was laid on the table. The Facebook album, timestamped and captioned, told a story Donna never meant for a courtroom. The first photo was timestamped 1:30 p.m. Margaret and Atlas by the pool. By 2:00 p.m., the dog was absent from every frame that followed.
There it was. The aesthetic she gambled on would be her undoing.
Across town, Donna's phone was already ringing. She screamed into it before the second beep.
What did you do? Those photos are evidence in a federal case. She's using your party pics to destroy us.
I just posted for my friends. You said the dog was ruining the aesthetic. You made me do it.
Amelia's phone had a live stream still open from a forgotten button. Far away, Margaret's phone buzzed with a notification. She tapped unexpectedly into a real-time broadcast of her sister screaming at their mother, tears streaking her mascara. In the quiet office, the attorney stamped the printouts with a heavy red acronym, Exhibit B. The digital trail Donna demanded for her perfect party had become the backbone of the case against her.
How many times has she put my health at risk for her own comfort?
The question unearthed a buried memory. 8 years old, left in a department store while Donna shopped for hours. Her phone vibrated, cutting through the quiet. A waterfall of texts from Donna. "I've loved you since you were born. Please call me. How can you do this to your mother?"
Love and accusation in the same sentence. The refrain of my entire childhood.
She deleted the entire thread. Then she blocked the number without a single word in reply. The therapist watched quietly. Then Margaret spoke for the first time in minutes.
This wasn't a one-time mistake. It's a pattern. She's always minimized my condition to control me. I'm not dropping the case. For once, there will be consequences.
She left the session with Atlas waiting by the door. That night, she packed old mementos into a box marked "Past." The morning of the trial, Margaret sat at her kitchen table and filled out a fresh emergency contact card.
In case of seizure, contact Sarah. Donna's name is no longer anywhere on my records.
She fastened a brand new vest around Atlas. Clean patches, bright blue, a fresh start. The old vest lay folded on a shelf, still smelling faintly of heat and fear. It would stay there. At the courthouse, she walked past marble pillars and metal detectors, Atlas's leash secure in her hand. Outside the courtroom door, Atlas pressed his nose into her trembling hand.
20 minutes early. He always knows.
A bailiff opened the heavy wooden door, his voice flat but final. Margaret Hemmings, you're up. She adjusted his vest one last time, felt the steady weight of his presence, and walked through. In the witness booth, Margaret placed her hand on the Bible and swore to tell the truth.
He alerts me to seizures 20 minutes before they hit. Without him, I could fall without warning. She knew that and locked him in a 40-degree garage.
Her voice stayed steady as she described the heat shimmering off the metal door, the weak scratch of Atlas inside.
Isn't it true you've always been overly dramatic about your condition, that you use that dog for sympathy? No, I have a documented seizure disorder. That's not dramatic, it's medical fact. The paperwork has been entered into evidence.
The prosecution played Officer Catherine's body cam footage. The courtroom monitor showed the garage interior in harsh light. The jury watched the beam catch Atlas lying on the concrete, panting, the water bowl bone dry on the floor. Donna's lawyer, now off balance, asked one more question. Margaret answered without blinking.
I needed help, so I called the one authority that could save his life. I'd do it again.
The gavel struck for recess. The case rested now in the hands of 12 strangers. In the courthouse hallway, Margaret stood with Atlas. Donna's footsteps approached, fast and desperate.
Margaret, please. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Can we just end this?
The same voice that called me hysterical now was shaking with practiced regret.
What do you want me to do? I'll do anything. Just tell me.
You're only sorry you got caught. That's not remorse. I wanted you to be a mother. Someone who saw me. It's too late for that.
Donna's face twisted, but the tears didn't reach her eyes. She reached for Margaret's arm.
This stops now. No more. I'm done.
She pulled her arm back and walked away, Atlas matching her stride. The hallway stretched ahead, bright with afternoon light. Donna called her name once, then the heavy door swung shut, sealing the silence. She was alone on the courthouse steps, tears real now. The jury filed back into the courtroom, their faces unreadable. Atlas pressed closer to Margaret's knee. The four-person stood, unfolding a slip of paper with the weight of months behind it.
On the charge of Class A animal cruelty, we find the defendant guilty.
A muffled gasp moved through the room. Donna's expression cracked open.
On the charge of willful interference with a service animal, we also find the defendant guilty.
Not celebration. Relief so deep it hurt. The long-awaited exhale of someone finally believed. The court thanks the jury. Sentencing on the federal civil violation will proceed after a brief recess.
Donna stared at the bench, her mouth opening and closing without sound. Her lawyer placed a hand on her arm. The gavel cracked against the block, sealing the verdict into the record. Atlas's tail gave a soft thump against the floor. Margaret felt it through her shoes. The judge returned to the bench, the courtroom settling into a heavy quiet. Donna's knuckles whitened on the table.
You will pay a fine of $7,400 and complete a service animal awareness program.
The total, including court costs, landed at exactly $7,400, the number the attorney had predicted weeks ago. A clerk slid a payment order across the table. Donna stared at it as if the paper itself could bite. Margaret's attorney turned and gave a small, sharp nod. No celebration, just confirmation.
$7,400. It wouldn't buy a mother's love, but it bought accountability. This court is adjourned.
The gavel struck the block for the last time. It echoed in the silent room like a door slamming shut. The bailiff stamped the receipt, $7,400 paid. The civil penalty was now a matter of public record. Donna gathered her purse, not meeting anyone's eyes. The legal chapter was closed. What remained was a family in ruins. Margaret walked through the courthouse doors, Atlas pressed to her knee. The afternoon sun felt startlingly clean. Behind her, a cluster of reporters cornered Donna. Camera flashes lit up her mortified face like a strobe. A television in the lobby aired the headline, "Service Dog Cruelty. Mother fined $7,400. The case was already public."
Margaret Hemmings, a quick question. What message do you have for other service dog owners who might be afraid to speak up? Don't stay silent. The ADA protects you. I waited too long, and it almost cost my dog's life.
She didn't look back. Her grip on Atlas's leash was light now, the weight of the trial finally gone. In the car, she pulled up Amelia's contact and pressed delete. The confirmation felt like a door locking. Donna waited on the steps long after the cameras left, her mascara streaking. No one stayed. Margaret turned on the radio, a quiet indie song filling the car. Atlas rested his head on her shoulder, tail thumping. The courthouse shrank in the rearview mirror as the road opened wide. 2 weeks later, across town, Margaret's new apartment felt lighter. She programmed a fresh number into her phone. She blocked every relative who had sent guilt-tripping texts. One tap, and they dissolved into digital silence. A cardboard box sat on the coffee table, marked family in her own handwriting from years ago. She hadn't opened it in months. She lifted the lid, glanced at an old photograph, then closed it again. It wasn't time to open that yet. She carried it to the back of the hall closet, behind winter coats and Atlas's folded old vest, out of sight. She closed the closet door. The latch clicked, and the apartment fell quiet. Not loneliness, just safety. Atlas padded over, his leash in his mouth. He dropped it at her feet with a soft thump.
All right, buddy. You're right. Walks don't wait.
She hooked the leash, grabbed her keys from a hook by the door. Her new keychain had a tiny dog bone charm. They stepped out into the late afternoon light, the sidewalk open and empty ahead. No summons, no cameras, just a walk. The community hall filled with the hum of folding chairs and quiet chatter. Margaret stepped onto the low stage, Atlas at her heel.
Service dogs aren't accessories. They're medical equipment. I learned that in a 40-degree garage.
She told the story without dramatics. The heat, the locked door, the call. The audience sat completely still. After the talk, a young woman with her own service dog approached. They traded quiet words, the recognition immediate.
They locked my dog in a bathroom once. I never thought I could fight back until I saw your case.
The event organizer stepped forward with a framed certificate and a check for $500, a grant from the Disability Rights Group.
This grant recognizes your courage. You turned a personal nightmare into a public lesson. I didn't expect this, but if it helps one person call for help sooner, it was all worth it.
A small girl in the front row pointed at Atlas. Margaret knelt, and the dog's tail began to wag.
He works hard, but he loves gentle hands.
A soft beep from her phone. Then Atlas nudged her hand. She took her medication without panic. The nightstand held a glass of water, her pills, and a photo of them from the first day she brought him home. Atlas curled into his spot at the foot of the bed, his head resting over her ankles. His tail gave a single contented thump before he sighed and closed his eyes.
No more locked doors. No more heat. Just this.
Beside the glass, the framed copy of the court's judgment glinted in the lamplight. $7,400. She reached over and turned off the lamp. The room settled into blue moonlight, quiet and safe. Atlas's breathing deepened, a rhythm she had learned to trust. In the warm dark, she closed her eyes. The past was locked away. Dawn broke across the apartment complex. Margaret and Atlas stepped onto the dew-soaked path. No words needed. The leash hung loose. Atlas walked a stride ahead, confident in a way that hadn't been there before. She unclipped him at the wide field. He bolted, ears flying, a streak of gold against the green.
This is it. No more locked doors. No more neglect. Just the open air and him.
They walked the long loop around the park. Not once did she check her phone or look over her shoulder. Atlas paused by a familiar bench, his tail wagging. She sat, and he rested his head on her knee.
No one can take this from us. Not anymore.
The sun climbed higher, burning off the last of the night's chill. She stood, and Atlas fell into step. They looped back toward home, two silhouettes against the risen sun, the world opening wide ahead. No dramatic ending, no final confrontation, just an ordinary morning that was theirs.